What's up everyone, my name is Abby, I like to read, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I read in the months of March and April. So it is currently almost June, so I decided to combine my wrap-ups for March and April because it's just like too late to just post a March wrap-up. Because we're almost into June. So I figured I would combine those months, try to get a little bit caught up to my videos, and yeah, I read a total of 9 books in March and 15 books in April. I'm gonna try to go mostly in like order, but some of the books, since I read like some of the series in March, some in April, I'm just gonna combine those all together just to make it make more sense. So the first series that I'm going to talk about is the Shadows and Crowns series. There are 5 books in this series and they are by S.M. Gaither. I read the first 3 books in the month of March and then the last 2 books in April. So the first book is called The Song of the Marked, and I gave this book 4 stars. The second book is called A Twist of the Blade, and I also gave this book 3 stars. The third book is The Call of the Void, and I gave it, you guessed it, 3 stars. The fourth book is A Crown of the Gods, and I actually gave this one 4 stars. It was probably my favorite of the series. And the fifth book is called The Queen of the Dawn, and I bumped this one back to 3 stars. So all in all, this series was very average. If you asked me now what it was about, I couldn't really tell you much. I kind of forgot about it, which sounds really bad. Yeah, just an average series. Pretty like tropey, which isn't normally, like, I don't hate tropey books, but I didn't really connect with the characters at all. I can't tell you their names. Like, actually, I don't remember any of their names. So unfortunately, just a very bleh series. I did listen to this on Audible, so that's probably why I made it through the whole series. I think if I actually had sat down and read these books physically, or on the Kindle, I probably wouldn't have continued on with the series, but since it's so easy for me to just listen and do other things, I did end up finishing the series. The next book I have is Of Mist and Shadow by Jenna Wolfhart. This is the first book in the Mist King series. I also listened to this on audio. I did not like the audio book narrator, so I had planned to read the second book or the rest of the series on Kindle, but then I just decided this was another kind of mediocre series that I just didn't really enjoy, didn't connect to the characters. I gave the first book 3 stars, so I'm probably not going to continue on with this series. The next book that I read in March is Storm of Secrets and Sorrow by Melissa K. Rorich. I did read this on Kindle like when it came out, but I love the series so much that I picked it up, the physical copy, as I did with all of Melissa K. Rorich's books. I liked this better than the first one. I gave this one 5 stars. I was very, very worried. I'm still a little bit like not really feeling the main love interest. But there are things in this book that I can't necessarily talk about that give me hope. And I absolutely love the progression and development of the main female character. She is coming into her own. She is badass, and I am so excited to see her story continue and to see her flourish and really just come into her own. I ordered that book directly from the author's website, and so it came with some art and like stickers. This one says take her a salad and see how that goes, like a symbol. Here's her card, and then some bookmarks. So that was really cool. The next 3 books I read are in the same series. They are the first 3 books, well, 2 books and then 1.5 novella in the Shadow and Moonlight series by Luna Laurier. I think that's how you say it. This was not a part of my TBR, and it was like pleasantly surprised me. I'm really excited for the next book. I think that should come out maybe this summer. The first book of Shadow and Moonlight, I rated 4 stars. The beginning was a little bit rough. I'm not a huge fan of books that are like somewhat set in a school type setting. It's just really not my favorite, but once we got like past that, this book was really, really good. The second book is Tipped in Frost and Blood. This is a novella, kind of like a Christmas special. I rated it 3 stars. It didn't really add much to the story, but it was still enjoyable to read. And then the official like second book is To Ash and Dust, and I give this book 4 stars. This series is just like really enjoyable. It's not like, I wouldn't put it up to like, you know, a 5-star read. I think this author, I think this is her debut series. She's doing amazingly for a debut series, and I'm really excited to see how her writing kind of develops and grows from this point on. The next book I have that I read in March is Silver Wings Golden Games. This is the second book in the God-Kissed Bride series by Evie Marcoux. This book came out in March, and I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. There were some like gasp scenes that like I like actually gasped out loud. I can't talk about it because it's a spoiler, but it was like, oh, we just went there. And if you've read this book, you know exactly the scene I'm talking about. It was wild. I did not like the ending. There was a little like twist at the, not twist, but like just a trope that I absolutely hate. I don't want to say it because I don't want to give it away and spoil the book, but it's one that I absolutely loathe. And so we'll see how that ends up playing out in the third book. So that's it for the books that I read in March. I did end up DNFing a book. Sadly, that is Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. This is the third book in the Daughter Smoke and Bone trilogy. I hate that I DNF'd a third book, the last book in a series, but this is a big book and I just did not want to finish it. I didn't want to read it. I don't think I got very far, maybe like less than 100 pages in. I was not enjoying it, and life is too short to read a book you don't enjoy. So I DNF'd it, unfortunately. All right, on to April. The first book I have is Torn by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in the, I think it's, you know, the Wicked trilogy. I gave this book 3 stars. I think this is my least favorite series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. If you don't know, I'm rereading all of her books and tabbing them. I love Jennifer L. Armentrout as an author, but this is just not my favorite series. It's like conflicting because it has like adult content in it, and so it's geared more towards like new adult audiences, but the characters seem very immature, and the writing is a little bit immature, so it's just conflicting messages, and I don't know, I don't like this series very much. I will read the last book in the series, and I think there's like some novellas. I don't actually remember how this series ends. This is a reread for me, but I don't remember, so that should be interesting to figure out. I listened to 2 audiobooks this month. The first one is The Thief by Danica Dark. This is the 4th book in the Black Arrowhead series. I gave this 3 stars, which I think is maybe the lowest star rating I've given a Danica Dark book. I love Danica Dark, and I love her audiobooks narrated by Nicole Poole. They're so amazing. This one, I did not like the main character. I felt the romance was really rushed. I just didn't really like this book that much. It was just so disappointing because I love Danica Dark. There's gonna be more books in this series, and I hope that they are better than this one. And the second audiobook that I listened to was The Witch Collector by, I think, Charissa Weeks. This is the first book in the Witchwalker series. I gave this book 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it enough to continue on with the series. I will get back to that in my April wrap up. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It wasn't a 5-star read, but it was 4 stars and enough to continue on with the series. Okay, the next 10 books are all from the same author. So every once in a while, I have always like slipped in a book that's like a security military romance, but I've never actually like added it on to like my wrap-ups or like on Goodreads, and I think it was just because like I felt like a little bit guilty. Like it's just a guilty pleasure. It's just reading it for fun. Like it's not really like bringing anything into my life, but you know, I feel like that I shouldn't do that. I read a book, I should add it to my wrap up, even though I might be like a little bit embarrassed that I read the book, which I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be embarrassed for what I read. Sometimes I am in the mood for a military romance, even though that is not what I am into in real life, literally at all, like the opposite. But sometimes I just, like, I don't know, I want to read these cheesy romance books. So I do. So I read books 1 through 6 in the Prey Security series by Jane Blythe. I had read a few of her books before, but like I've never read a complete series, only like books here and there in the series. So I am determined to read all of her books. So I'm just gonna quickly go through these books and then have their star ratings. So the first book is Protecting Eagle. I gave it 3 stars. The second book is Protecting Raven. I gave it 3 stars. Protecting Falcon. This is the third book. I gave it 3 stars. The fourth book is Protecting Sparrow. Gave it 3 stars. The fifth book is Protecting Hawk. Did not like this book. I gave it 2 stars. And then the sixth book is Protecting Dove, and I gave it 3 stars. So obviously these books aren't my favorite, but they are a guilty pleasure, and I just fly through them. I fly through them. They are such easy reads. And then the next 4 books is a different series in that same universe. It is the Bravo team in the Prey Security universe. The first book is Vicious Scars. I gave it 3 stars. The second book is Ruthless Scars. I gave it 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed this book. The third book is Brutal Scars. I gave it 2 stars. I hated this book. I really did not like it. And the fourth book is Cruel Scars, and I gave it 4 stars. I also enjoyed this book pretty well. Okay, that was all that I read in the month of April. I will include a DNF for April. What Lies Behind the Veil by Harper L. Woods. This is the first book in the Flesh and Bone series. I just wasn't into it. I think I made it halfway. I thought the main character was creepy and I didn't like him, or the main like love interest. And yeah, I just didn't want to finish or continue on with the book. So I didn't. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you read in March and April, if you even remember, because I know it was so long ago. Subscribe if you want to see more content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. I listened to two odd... if you don't know, I'm rereading Left That didn't make any sense. I read the first 3 books in the month of March. Why? I feel like I've done that before. I was speed talking that entire time, and I will be surprised if any of my words make sense.